We are live with the MK tile saw. All right, I'm going to show here. This is for people that don't really know. This is new to them and they're trying to figure it out. All right, I have some very rough notes here. All right, on just a scratch pad. Okay, now this is really rough and it won't make any sense to you, but here I have 6 1/4 to 7 inches. Okay, by 16 and 3/16 overall. Now, what am I talking about? That's just a bunch of confusion, bunch of gibberish. So I'm going to make sense out of that for you. Okay, this rectangle represents the tile that's going up overhead. And as you notice, there's a slight angle on it. Okay, that represents this. Where's that? That represents. Okay, that represents this right here. 6 1/4, 7. Okay. So, one side of this, the long point here, would come out, and I'm going to go 7 inches. Over here, I'm going to go 6 and a quarter. All right, therefore I know that that's the length of this side. Actually, okay, in this side. So I'm going to make it, my first cut, I'm going to cut this tile straight across at 7. Then I'm going to come to this side, I'm going to pull back on the tile to 6 1/4, and I'm going to mark it at this point at 6 1/4. Then I will draw a line from 7, from this point down across it to 6 1/4 mark. I'll scribe it, and then I'll cut that angle, and then it will fit like a glove. Okay, now what is the length? Okay, okay, so that's what that is, and that's how that's done. Okay, so then we have another piece here. It is 8 1/2, okay, by 8 7/8. Now that's a bad picture, okay? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this and I'm going to draw this, come straight down, okay, and then I'm going to come up here. I'm going to stop a little short, and I'm making this sloppy on purpose. All right, just to show you. You know, if you make it really nice, fine. You can make this pristine and just straight as an arrow. But again, I'm just trying to show you just a rough rudimentary basics of, you know, you don't have to be perfect, but you can do this also, all right? So I'm going to take this line past my number so there's no confusion. And then I'm going to write the long point on this is 8 7/8. Okay, so I'm going to go 8, okay, and 7/8 to the long point. Now, the other side is 8 1/2. So we come out here and we go 8 8 1/2, okay? Started to make a 5. You saw that. All right. Now, there's something wrong with this picture. Okay, what's wrong with this picture? This is going to be a common mistake when you're starting out. All right, the long point is on the wrong side. 8 7/8 is going to be my long point. Okay, but if we come up over here, we come to this other measurement, we see that the long point is actually on the other side. All right, right here. Here's our long point. So I have to reverse this. Okay, 8 1/2 is here. 8 7/8 is here. So we're going to scratch this one out, right? We're just going to scratch it out. Okay, so now we're going to redo this. And again, I'm doing this just so that you can see the reality of this. All right, that's going to be the short point. Okay, and then this is going to be the long point. So we're just going to come out here past it a little bit. You see how I'm past it? Now, like I said, you can make these lines super straight, nice and pristine. But I'm just trying to keep it real. All right. So now I'm running into this piece, so that's really sloppy. And I don't like that. That is just sloppy. So I'm going to move it. All right, we're going to do this over. I'm going to come up here where I have more space. I'm going to come down here. If I start here and I go straight back, that'll be a straighter line. Bam. All right, here's where this one is. So I'm going to start about here. And I'm going to come back. That's not so straight. But we know where the long point and the short point is, all right? We just do away with this here. Okay, so now we know that 8 1/2 is here. All right, so we have 8 1/2 on this side. Okay, we have 8 7/8. Okay, now we're on the right side. When I put that piece up, it's going to fit like it's supposed to. All right. Okay, now we have this 16 3/4. All right, now the other thing you can do is, that's my overall. Now I can subtract an 1/8 inch because I need a gap between my tile. Okay, and so if I subtract an 1/8 inch, that gives me a 1/16 on both sides. All right, there's how many 8 1/2 inch? There's 4 8 1/2 inch. Okay, so if I remove an 8, that gives me an 8, and this becomes 3 8. Okay, so I now have 3 8. All right, now that's still sloppy. It's not crystal clear. It should be nicely spaced apart and looking all nice. But I'm just trying to keep this rudimentary and basic. I could make this pristine, and maybe I should, but for the person learning, this is what you don't want to do. You want this to be nice and clear, space between everything, so it looks nice. All right, so now I'm going to cut this, my first piece. All right, got a bad connection here today, it looks like. Okay, so there's 1 and 2. So this first one I'm going to cut at 7. Since this is the longest part of the tile, I've got to cut that to 7. Okay. Now, the other thing, what did I forget? Did I not write down the width? I didn't write down the width. All right, so we're going to go back and we're going to write down the width of that tile. I wish I could pause this, but I'm unable to pause it. So you get to travel with me to where I'm doing the work here in the shower. And you can get a better idea. All right, now this here, all right, this is where I get my one measurement. Okay. And then the width. Okay, we have total of 6.5. Okay. So we're going to write this down. We're going to take a new piece of paper here, and we're going to make this nice. We're going to show you the right way to do this. All right, so I'm facing the wall. All right, this is the right side, the outside. The inside is the left side. So when I draw this up, okay, to do this correctly, and so that it's crystal clear and there's no confusion or questions. All right, I'm going to make my rectangle. I've got a bad connection. All right, so here, this is the inside. So I can write in over here for inside. Or I could write NS, right, for inside. All right, then over here, we can write I to over here. Yeah. Now that we've done that, all right, and we know that it is 6.5. So the next measurement we're going to make or draw is we're going to put in 6.5. That's our width, okay? So we know that's our width. Now, for our length, all right, we are going to come up here, and our length is, hold on, I'm sorry, I got to get this organized a little better here. Okay, this is really sloppy video, sorry guys, very sloppy. I say just make videos, it's a learning curve. All right, so I have 8 and 7/8 on this side. All right, so on the outside, I have 8 7/8. Okay. Now, on the other side, let's see. I will have, get this out. Okay. Here we go. We have 8.5. All right. 8.5. Well, actually, it's 8 9/16 exactly. All right. So on this other side, okay, we have 8. Right? It doesn't really look like a 6. So then we go. There's our point. No, it's on the outside. Here's our point, and we know it's on the inside. All right. Now I'm going to make start another rectangle here for the next measurement. Okay. Just come down. Just come down. That's just a rough. Okay. Now we're going to take this next measurement. And this is what I'm calling my overhead curve. All right. Because it's a curve. It's just in reverse from the bottom. It's the same thing. See, here's the bottom of the curve. All right. And so this is reverse of that. It's the same exact thing. It's a curve, just in reverse. All right. Now, this tile, the width here is 6 1/4, 6 5/16 to be exact. All right. Okay, and I taped this up here. When I put this up, I just kind of reassure it to hold it in place. I've got this tape up here holding it. Well, it was holding it and come down now. All right, so we know that the width of this is 6 5/16. All right. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take and 5, right? Very good. Get back length. So we have, and I've got a really bad connection here. I hope this comes out. I may have to delete this when I'm done. I don't know. All right, now it says I've got a good connection. All right, this tells me I'm at 16. I'm at 16 1/8. All right, 16 1/8 on this side, on the outside. All right, so we're going to make this longer. We're talking about it being a 16th and an 8th. All right, so this side is 16th. 1/8. All right. Now let's check the other side. All right. And the other side is hold on, I'm having trouble with this tape and trying to hold this camera. This is where having somebody to videotape you really makes a big difference, or a tripod. Okay, got it. All right, so we have 15 and it's just a 30-second. So I would call that 15 3/4 minus. Okay. Well, no, let's see. That's actually looking like, well, let me get another. This has got to be exact for it to look nice, and I want this to come out as nice as possible. And with this, this is really difficult. I've got this tape over here flopping. Most people wouldn't even be doing this because it's so sloppy. It is sloppy. I really can't wait till I am able to get this down where it's professional, because this is beyond frustrating over here. But I gotta get this over here. I gotta bring my tape around over here, get this lined up. All right. We're gonna call that 15 3/4 minus, because it's a little bit past 3/4. Okay. So we now know 15 3/4 minus. All right, so I'm going to bring this out here a little bit longer now. All right. And then we know that this over here is 15 3/4 minus, because it's a little bit past. You could call it, well, it's minus because it's less than 3/4. All right, like a 30-second more. All right. Okay, so there we have that. And now I can go ahead and make the cut. I'll start over. So this next one will be part 2. And sorry for the unprofessionalism of all of this. I don't always have somebody to videotape, and so it comes out messy, unprofessional, and that's a turnoff, I know. But the knowledge is what's important. You know, got to get the knowledge out there. And so hopefully you're still watching, and stay tuned for part 2. I'm going to be cutting the tile and showing how that's done in this next video. Thank you for watching.